Richard was pressured relentlessly by the government to attend the Anglican Church and also asked to betray the people whose children he had taught. Even though he was hung up in manacles and suffered excruciating pain, Richard refused to betray anyone. He likewise would not consent to attend the Church of England services. The magistrates ordered that he be loaded heavily with chains and forcibly carried to a Protestant service. But once there, Richard so stirred his legs and rattled his chains that no one could hear the sermon. Furious at Richard's stubbornness, the magistrates placed him in the stocks from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. In the town stocks, Richard suffered patiently, only too pleased to offer his discomfort and humiliation to God, with mildness and his usual good humor. He was visited by a minister who had a very large purple nose, and who set about trying to argue with Richard on matters of faith. When the minister said that God had given the keys of heaven not only to St. Peter but to the minister also, St. Richard replied that there was a difference. St. Peter was entrusted with the keys of heaven, St. Richard said, while the keys entrusted to you appear to be those of the beer cellar. When he was brought to court once more, Richard Gwyn listened patiently to the charges brought against him. The only charge that could be found against Richard was that he had made a disturbance in church. Sir George Bromley was the judge and fined St. Richard Gwyn £40, which was an impossibly large sum of money. When Richard was asked how he was going to pay the fine, he replied that he had something towards it. When asked by Sir George how much, Richard replied that he had 6pence. The judge was furious and sent Richard back to prison, ordering that he be loaded with extra irons. The soldier complied, and Richard was much amused as heavy chains and irons were loaded upon him, so that soon he could hardly even move.